Hello, hello. Happy Wednesday, everyone. Tomorrow is Thanksgiving Day in the US. We've already had our Thanksgiving Day here in Canada last month. But I feel like with American Thanksgiving, it officially starts the holiday season. And I wanted to hop in here and say a few things and hopefully help you navigate the season with confidence in yourself, because that's what I feel that lacks the most in people during the season is the lack of confidence in themselves and the decision that they make ahead of time that they can't do it, right? They can't stay committed to their goals, their fitness goals, and navigate the holidays at the same time. And that's already setting yourself up for failure if you're thinking that way. And that's why I wanted to hop on this call and go through a few things that hopefully will be helpful throughout this season. I also shared the link for my holiday survival guide. It's in the app. You can find it under the group eating out / vacation traveling. Under that group, you're going to see a link to the PDF holiday survival guide. It's super, super juicy. It has all the details, all the tips for traveling, for all the mindset stuff is in there. It's got recipes, workouts that you can do, quick workouts that you can do, how to navigate like your portions and so on and so forth. Like there's everything in that guide. I shared it there in the app, so it's there for you always. But I also shared the link in the WhatsApp group chat. So if you scroll a few messages, it will be there for you. You can access it there as well. But aside from that, I wanted to be here face to face and talk to you, answer your questions. If you have any questions, I'm going to start just by, going through the tips and the things that I think will be helpful for you. And then if you have any questions at the end, please let me know. If you're watching the recording of this call, please feel free to message me. Please feel free to drop some comments or feedback, questions in the WhatsApp group chat. Let me know if this was helpful. Let me know if this was valuable to you. If it wasn't, if you thought that it was just a waste of time and this is something that we should take out of our coaching program, let me know. It's important for me to know whether or not these types of calls are really helping you or not. Another thing that I wanted to mention now that we're on this kind of housekeeping stuff before we get started on the topic of today is the calls, the group calls, the weekly group calls. I need your help to decide where to go from here. Because I feel like Thursdays at 6 p.m. is not usually a time where people are available to hop on a call and spend half an hour here with us. So if it's just me recording the call, I would just record the call and post the recordings in the app for you to watch it later. But if you want to be live on this calls, if you want to participate live, what would be the best day of the week for you? And what would be the best time for you as well? Would it be 6 p.m., 7 p.m., 8 p.m.? No later than that, because 9 p.m. is my bedtime. And which day of the week is best for you? Because here's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking about doing 3 recordings, so 3 trainings per month, once a week, and then 1 big group call Q&A style where I'll answer all of your questions. This is what I'm thinking. And then that day, once a month, it's a reoccurring event on your calendar. You hop on, you ask me questions, you have direct access to me, and then go from there. Okay, let me know either in the WhatsApp group chat or in the app as well. If you're watching the recording, you can pause this and just go ahead and let me know which day of the week do you prefer, what time of the day do you prefer, so we can get that started and pre-scheduled. All right. So Let's go ahead and get started with the presentation first, and then I have a few things to comment at the end. Let me just let a few people in. All right. All right, so here I'm going to share my screen. Okay, so basically this is going to teach you how to navigate the holiday season like a boss. And like I said, although us Canadians, we already had our Thanksgiving Day last month, I feel like with American Thanksgiving is really when things kick off in terms of feeling like it's the holiday season. So, and Thanksgiving Day is tomorrow. So this will help you get prepared for that. The first thing that I wanted to say is perspective. Put into perspective what it really means to be around the holiday season, what the holidays really mean, because I feel like we create this big monster around Thanksgiving, around Christmas, around all the festivities. But when you really, really look at it, we zoom out and look at it, that monster isn't that big. In fact, it's not even a monster. Look at it from this perspective. So today is November 23rd, right? So there's only 38 days left in the year. It's mind-boggling to just say it out loud. So there's only 38 days left in the year. If you eat on average, and just like bear with me here, this is just an average. This is just for the sake of calculation. You might eat more, you might eat less, but if you eat around 4 meals per day, that will be a total of 152 meals from now until December 31st. So let's say that between Thanksgiving, Christmas Eve, New Year's Eve, other events and parties, anything else that pops up, you have around 20 festive meals. 20 meals that you can't really control what's in it, 20 meals that you don't know the macros for, 20 meals that are not very nutritious, 20 meals that you're sharing with your family, with your friends, 20 meals from now until December 31st. It's pretty realistic, right? Probably even less than that if you look at it. That's just 0.13% of all of the meals that you're going to have from today until December 31st. That's it, 0.13%. So are you going to really throw in the towel and like feel desperate about 0.13%? Or are you going to step back, zoom out, look at what it really, really means, and relax, enjoy the holidays, and at the same time stick to your routine on the other 140 something meals that you have control of. So although you don't have control over those 20 meals, and this is just a random number, it could be even less than that. Like I said, for me, it's a lot less than that. But are you going to let that derail you and help make you lose control out of all the other meals that you have control of? You see what I'm going with this? You do have control over the holiday season. Sometimes we just choose to give up before we even try it. We choose to believe that we can't do it because it's the holiday season. But truly, like in terms of food, the holiday season is just a few meals that you don't have full control over. That's it. And I'm going to tell you more. Those meals, even if you go overboard, even if you choose to eat whatever you want, they're not going to make or break your progress. What will going to make or break your progress is what you choose to do with the other 148 meals that you have left. Not 48, sorry. 132 meals that you have left. Right? That will make or break your progress, because what you do between now and December 31st with all of the meals, that's really what's going to make or break your progress, not the few meals here and there, your Christmas Day, your Christmas Eve, your Thanksgiving meals. Those are sporadic. Those are going to represent the 0.13% of meals that you're not going to have control over, but they're not going to matter anyways. Sure, you might feel bloated after, you might feel heavier after, you might even weigh more on the scale the next day. Who cares? That's a short-term consequence of eating a little more. But in the long run, in the grand scheme of things, you're not ruining your progress because of those meals. You're not. Unless you decide that you don't have control over anything, unless you decide to give out your power and choose to overindulge, give up, throw in the towel, and eat for a family of 15 until January 1st comes along, then it's a whole different story. But because you're in this program, because we're holding you accountable and you are holding yourself accountable, they're not going to do that. Especially when you have the right tools to navigate this situation, to navigate this season. And let me tell you something, navigating this season, especially for those of you who just started working with me, like maybe you're a few months in, a couple months in, a couple of weeks in, deciding to take action now and deciding to learn these tools and skills right now, this is going to be so key for you to maintain your results next year and then next year and then the following year. Because it's like with any skill, you learn, you implement, it becomes second nature over time. And another thing on this topic before I move to the next slide is the fact that just like I love to make comparisons and analogies between food and money, because I don't know why it's easy to understand and to get the similarities. But have you ever been in a situation where you looked at your bank account or you opened your credit card statement and you look at the total amount that you needed to pay for that credit card statement, or you looked at your checking account and you're like, holy moly, where did my money go? I don't know where did my money go? And then when you look at it, like, you didn't really buy anything that big. You didn't even made any like big purchase. This has happened to me a lot before, where I'm like, oh, I don't know if I want to spend $500 on this. And then I keep postponing it. And then in the meantime, I'm wasting a lot more money on smaller stuff, but I'm just not seeing it because they're so tiny that I don't notice it right away, but they compound over time. And it's that compounding amount over time that really makes the difference. It adds up, right? It's the same thing with food. It's not the birthday cake. It's not the Thanksgiving meal. It's not the Christmas meal. It's not your vacation, a once a year vacation. It's not that. It's the tiny, smaller decisions that you make every single day. It's the way you decide to spend your food budget on things that maybe you don't even like that much, on things that are just there for convenience. And you just choose to spend your food budget on those little things that don't seem like much, but they add up. And it's the same thing throughout the holiday season, because the bigger meals, the meals with your family, with your friends, they're not going to ruin your progress. But the smaller things here and there, the handfuls of this, the licks of that, the bites of that, the handful of M&Ms, the hard candy that you choose to eat midday, the things that your coworkers offer you in your office, those little tiny things that don't make a difference right away, they add up, they compound, they will make a difference in the future. And that can make or break your progress. You see what I'm getting with this? So choose to be mindful of those tiny decisions, of those little decisions that you make in between the bigger events. Because the problem is not the bigger events. The problem is the tiny decisions that you make between those events. Okay. All I have to say is one meal cannot impact your physique progress. The same way that eating salad and chicken one day is not going to make you healthy, and it's not going to make you lose weight. One donut or one piece of pie tomorrow is not going to impact your physique progress. Okay. What do I advise you to do? What would be my best advice for you to do tomorrow, or Christmas Eve, or Christmas Day, or any other day that you have events? Because I know that some of you might have lunches and dinners, different days with different people and different groups of people, which is reasonable. Make a plan and set an intention beforehand. Make an agreement with yourself beforehand on how you want it to unfold, on how you want it to be. And ask yourself, take a 1 minute break, breathe really deeply, and ask yourself, what's going to make me feel better tomorrow? What's going to make me feel better tomorrow? What kind of behaviors, what kind of decisions that are going to make me feel better tomorrow? And maybe the day after, how do I want to feel? And that can be anything from tracking all day, like tracking for those of you who are tracking macros. So tracking all day, even if you have to estimate in eyeball portions, for some of you, that's what you want to do it. Tracking all meals except Thanksgiving meal, do it. There's no right or wrong here. Tracking half a day, not tracking at all, fasting in the morning and having your first meal being your Thanksgiving lunch, do it. Are you exercising tomorrow? Yes or no? Wake up tomorrow knowing what's the plan for yourself. Either of these answers are okay. I just want you to know that. Either of these answers are okay. If you choose to not track tomorrow, if you choose to track half of the day, if you choose to track and estimate in eyeball portions, if you choose to track all the meals but the Thanksgiving meal, if you choose to not track at all, I support you. I fully support you. But what I want you to understand is that I don't want you tomorrow to break the plan that you made to yourself. Make a plan and fulfill your plan. Make a promise to yourself and fulfill the promise to yourself. So if you say that tomorrow you're not going to track, tomorrow when you wake up, you don't even look at MyFitnessPal. If you say that tomorrow you're going to track all day and estimate an eyeball portion, sure, do it. You wake up tomorrow and you know you're going to do that because that's what you said you're going to do. You wake up tomorrow, you're going to exercise. You know that you're going to exercise. So go do your workout or your walks or whatever you plan to do. But if you say, I'm going to be perfect tomorrow, I'm going to do my workouts and my steps and my water and track everything and follow my meal plan to a T, and I'm not going to eat anything, and I'm just going to stick to salad and turkey, and then you fail at it, what happens is that you break a little bit of the self-trust. You break a little bit of the self-confidence. You lose confidence in yourself. Every time we say we're going to do something and we don't do it, we let ourselves down. We let ourselves down each time. And that's what makes us feel bad. And that's what makes us feel guilty. That's what makes us feel like a loser. That's what just reinforces the pattern of, oh, I can't trust myself. I can't do anything. So instead, choose what kind of promise, what kind of plan do you want to do tomorrow? What kind of plan is realistic for you to follow through tomorrow? And then do it. And then do it. Make sense? So when you execute it on your plan, however the plan is, you crush your goals. You crush your goal. You feel great. You build that self-trust again. You feel confident about it. You're setting, when you make a plan, when you make an agreement with yourself ahead of time, you're setting yourself to feel like a winner. And winners, they don't have to think about getting on track. They don't have to make a plan for it. They just do it. They just do it because they have confidence in themselves, because they've executed on the plan that they had made. So do not stress about it. Create a plan. Make a plan. Make an agreement with yourself. However way you want, I support you. And then follow through with your word, because that's going to build the self-trust again in yourself. That's going to make you feel confident. That's make you feel like you've crushed it, right? Let's say instead of like, oh, I'm not going to drink any alcohol. And then you get to the dinner and you're like, I wish I could do that, but I can't. Well, you're giving your power away to start with, and you just planned something that's not, like, you're just not acting in accordance with the plan that you've made for yourself. If you say that you don't want to drink, when you get there, you don't think about it. You just don't drink it. You don't think about it. You don't talk about it. You don't, justify yourself. You don't justify your reasons. It's just what you do, right? Or you can even that you like a glass of wine. You know that you enjoy that. Okay, I'm going to go and I'm going to drink 1 glass of wine. Then you go and drink 1 glass of wine, guilt-free, because you're just fulfilling the promise that you made to yourself. You're just fulfilling the plan that you've made to yourself. And you feel great about it because that's exactly what you said you're going to do. And again, you don't have to justify yourself. You don't have to explain yourself. You don't owe anyone any explanation about what you're doing, why you're doing, and you just don't. You don't owe anyone anything, any explanation. You just do your thing, whatever is your thing, whatever you want. Make the choice and feel empowered about it. You have the choice. You have the power. And again, don't go into a Thanksgiving lunch, Thanksgiving dinner, holiday party, Christmas party without making that agreement with yourself first, because people are going to push you. People are going to push food against you. Like people is going to push you to drink, and you have to have a plan in terms of like, okay, am I going to drink it? Am I not going to drink it? Like, don't make the decision on the spot, because how are you going to feel after? The next day, you might feel like a loser. You might feel like you broke a promise with yourself because you said yes when you wanted to say no, because you didn't have a plan, right? Because you didn't make that agreement with yourself first. But if beforehand you're like, okay, I'm going to have 2 drinks tonight, and I'm going to eat this and that, and I'm going to say this and that, you're empowered. And then if someone pushes me to drink more, I'll just make an excuse on the spot. I'll just say no, whatever. We're not teenagers anymore, right? So you don't have to be like wishy-washy about it. You don't have to explain yourself, and you don't have to do anything that you don't want to do, really. If it goes against like what you truly want, like, don't do it. Or if you really feel that you want to do it and that's what makes you happy, do it. But because you want it, not because somebody else pushed you to do something that you don't want to. Again, the most important person in this process is you. And you have to make empowered decisions about what you choose to do or not, or what you don't choose to do when it comes to food, when it comes to drinks, and take self-responsibility for what you do during and after the next day. Don't be those like, don't try to punish yourself or, oh my gosh, I'm so bad because I eat this, I ate that, I drink this, I drink that. We're all adults here. So just own what you did, take self-responsibility, move on with your life, move on with your plan. That's it. That's it. Now, in terms of like more practical stuff, in terms of more practical stuff on how to execute the plan around Thanksgiving dinner, around Thanksgiving lunch, around Christmas dinner, etc. If you want to somehow control, still have some sort of control about what you eat, okay? Again, tracking is not mandatory. You choose whether or not you want to do it. You choose how you want to do it. But another thing that's not super empowering and that's not going to help you in the future is just like going into these meals, just like, oh, I'm going to eat everything because I can't have it any other time of the year. And then you stuff your face and you eat until it feels sick. That's not really a healthy relationship with festivities. That's not really a healthy relationship with food anyways. So a good way to kind of mitigate all that is to estimate your food portions and to like prioritize protein. That's the simplest thing that you can do. Prioritize protein because you're going to feel more satiated. You're going to feel more satisfied, and eat the protein first. So here's a hand guide portion, so you can kind of estimate how much you're eating of protein, veggies, carbs, fats, and it can be helpful if you're estimating your intake, or oh my gosh, what's happening here? Or if you just want to build a more balanced plate, right? So like the palm of your hand, it's like 20 to 30 grams of protein. If you want to have double that, like just double that portion size and so on. But estimating at least gives you an idea of where you're at, and it helps you to build yourself up, like build a plate that makes you feel good, that you enjoy, that you like, but at the same time, it's not something that it's going to lead to overindulgences, right? And also, this is really cool too. Use the one plate rule. And this is something that I've mentioned last year, I think. Pretty much eat anything you want as long as it fits in one plate, and don't go for seconds. That's it. If you fill your plate, like half of your plate in veggies, then half of like 1/4 is protein, another 1/4 is carbs. And you fill it with whatever you want, your favorite Thanksgiving foods, just limit yourself to that one plate. You're still controlling your portions. You're still kind of controlling your caloric intake, but you're not tracking, you're not measuring, you're not weighing, and you don't have to. Okay. Just like be mindful of, okay, what is on my plate? Do I have veggies? Do I have protein? Do I have carbs? Do I have fats? And limit yourself to that one plate. Don't go for seconds, and you can make that plate as big as you want. Okay. But it's a way, it's one of the ways that you can limit yourself. Another thing that you can do, I don't know if I put it in here, but oh yeah, it's the dessert graveyard. So you can have all of the desserts, right? But put it on your one plate and grab a bite of everything. If you grab a bite of everything, you're going to try everything. You're going to taste everything. But one, you're probably going to be way too full to go for seconds or to eat the whole thing. And you're going to, again, somehow control your intake on that day, right? You don't overdo it. Another important tip, stay hydrated. Drink water before each meal and all throughout the day. Aim to get 2 to 4 liters of water. Like start the day drinking water. Start the day drinking water. If you can go for some sort of movement in the morning, that would be amazing. But again, it's your choice. You choose what you want to do. If you don't want to work out at all tomorrow, don't do it. But if you go for some sort of movement, started drinking water, you kind of kickstart the day ahead of you. Like it really helps to trigger that, okay, I'm still on this journey. I'm on this journey. This is like a normal thing for me. And the more you can stick to your regular routine or normal routine, the better, right? You can, like, it doesn't have to be either or. It doesn't have to be all or nothing. There's always a middle ground. And I find that this middle ground is really like, keep doing the things that you do and then go for your Thanksgiving dinner, right? It's like, I do that on Christmas and Thanksgiving and New Year's. I'll go to the gym. Normally, I'll get my workout in. I'll drink my water. I'll eat my regular meals until it's time for Christmas dinner, until it's time for New Year's Eve dinner. And then I'll have whatever I want. But throughout the rest of the day, it was a normal day for me, right? Because I've built the habit and I know that just one meal is not going to ruin anything. And I also know that like working out is going to make me feel good. Drinking water throughout the day is going to make me feel good. Eating as closely as possible to my normal routine is going to make me feel good. So why do I want to avoid that? Right? So stay hydrated, drink water. And this is also really, really important. Eat slowly, okay? Eat slowly and mindfully and stop at 80% satisfied. So once you feel that you're like satisfied, stop there, take a deep breath, wait 5 minutes. And then if you're still hungry, yeah, go for it, finish your plate. But usually what happens is that we eat so fast, we don't chew our food that much. And that like, it doesn't give the body time to really process what you're doing, right? So it doesn't give your body process to say, okay, she's satisfied, she's been eating enough. Because you eat so fast, and I'm guilty of that. Hi. So really try to slow down, especially because during the holidays, the meals that you're having with your family or with your friends, they're not just about food. Well, they're rarely about food. Yes, food is part of it, but you're there also to share that moment with people, with the people that you love. Right? So really pay attention to the conversation, really try to be present and chew your food really, really slowly, eat slowly and stop when you're satisfied. There's nothing good happens by stuffing your face and feeling sick after. There's nothing good that happens after that. You're not going to taste like the taste of the food is usually the best on the first few bites. After that, it's really the same, right? So really practice that, eating slowly, stop at 80%, be really mindful. So it doesn't really matter what you eat tomorrow. As long as you apply this, you're not going to overdo it, right? You're not going to overdo it. And even if you freaking overdo it, even if you don't do any of this, and even if you stuff your face and you eat for a family of 15 tomorrow, and even if you really like get hammered, so what? It's one day. It's one day. Take ownership of it. Take responsibility from it and move on. The next day is the next day. Go back to your plan. Simple as that. And like learn from it, what you have to learn from it, but move on. Don't beat yourself up. All right. Next, move your body. I just mentioned this. Get your workout in, or even go for a walk, go for a family walk, a hike with the family. Even like the best time for you to go for this walk is after lunch, after dinner, where everybody is like, oh, like in a food coma. Instead of a food coma on the couch, just go for a quick walk. This is going to make everybody feel so much better. It kicks in the digestion process. It helps with a ton of other stuff. So this is a really good habit to have. And since it's Thanksgiving, it's a good opportunity for you guys to catch up and talk about what you're thankful for. And don't think about working out or moving your body as a way to earn your food. Okay. Think of it, this is part of my lifestyle. This is what I do. And this is how Andrea, me personally, I deal with it. And this is how I do it. I don't work out on Christmas Day because I'm punishing myself or I have to earn my Christmas dinner. I do it because it happens to fall, I don't know, on a day that I have a workout scheduled. It's, I don't know, leg day, it's my full body day, whatever day it is, there's a workout there. There's no reason for me for not doing it. This is what I do, but it's not with the intention to burn it off, the food that I'm going to eat later. And it's not with the intention to earn the food that I'm going to eat later. It's just because it's part of my identity. It's part of what I do. It's part of what I like to do. It's part of my lifestyle. And that's what I want you guys to take from this. If you don't take anything else, just take this. Do what you do and stick to your routine, not because you fear ruining your progress, or not because you fear gaining weight or getting back to ground zero, like not because you fear that, but because this lifestyle helps you so much, you feel so good that there's no reason for not doing it. You love it. You want to do it, right? What would you be doing if it was like a regular Thursday or a regular Friday? Unless you really don't have the time, or unless, like you say, you know what, fuck it, I don't want to do it. Don't do it. But that's your choice, right? But again, the important thing is avoiding those extremes, right? There's always a middle ground. It's not either or. It's not all or nothing. There's always a middle ground here, always. The dessert graveyard already talked about. Then be present with what's happening with my mouse. Be present and make memories. Like I said in the beginning, your results are not going to come from the sporadic days that you work out and the sporadic days that you do your diet. Your results comes from the compounded habit of the small daily actions that you take every single day towards that version of yourself. Every day of the year, not sporadically. So your results are not going to be ruined by sporadic events, but from tiny little actions that you take every day that slowly compounds and get you out of the path that you wanted to go. So if anything, do what you want to do. Do what makes you feel best. Ask yourself, what's going to make me feel better tomorrow? What's going to make me feel better the day after Thanksgiving? How do I want to feel about the decisions that I made? Right? Thinking that way, it's easier to be present with your family and to make memories and to make the empowered decision to eat the whole thing or don't eat the whole thing, or eat one plate or eat two plates and go for seconds. Because when it's coming from a place of I choose to, I have the power to decide for myself, it's different than from a place of scarcity and from a place when it's coming from a place of fear, right? Or from a place of restriction. Oh, I feel like I can't have this, right? But when you choose, I can't have everything that I want. I always can have everything that I want. I can have anything, but I choose to have the things that I enjoy most, that I love the most, right? Don't nickel and dime on things that you don't really enjoy, and save up for the bigger things that you really love, like your grandma pie, or I don't know, whatever the case may be. I didn't grow up in North America, so I don't have a lot of memories that are very similar that you guys can resonate, but you hear what I'm saying, right? But I've watched enough Friends. But yeah, the important thing is don't nickel and dime. Don't like just eat random stuff because you feel like you need to eat random stuff because you never have those. You can have those if you want to, but just know that like you also want the results, right? And you also want to know what's truly going to matter. And if you choose to allocate your food budget towards the foods that you really, really love, and like save up, like, and like don't like spend on things that you don't like, that's going to both fulfill your needs to enjoy enjoyment and be present, and avoid a big caloric splurge just because you felt like you needed to eat everything on site, right? Be mindful, be smart about it. Just stop sharing here. And that's, that's basically what I wanted to say. Let me see if there's anything else that I feel like I might be forgetting. I'm looking at my notes here. If you have any questions, like I said, you can send me in the WhatsApp group chat or 101 in the app. But I think this is it, right? And like the biggest takeaway too is like, don't give your power away. Don't give your power away because you feel like you don't have control over the things around you, over your environment. You always have control over your environment. You can always make a better decision, right? As long as it's an empowered decision coming from your knowledge and what makes you feel good. Now, also, please share with us your pictures of your favorite foods, your favorite yummy stuff from your family tomorrow. We want to see it. We want, like I said, here in Canada, it's not Thanksgiving tomorrow, so it's a normal day. So make us all jealous and share with us all the goodies. Same thing on Christmas, New Year's Eve, any other parties that you go to throughout this holiday season. Share with us, send pictures of the things that you like. And if you have any questions, just let us know. And I hope this was helpful. Like I said in the beginning, let me know. Give me the feedback on if this was helpful or not, if this was a complete waste of time. But yeah, I'll see you guys next time.